Okay. Acer Racer asks, my question is, what is my calling or true destiny? That is such a big question, and I don't begrudge you for asking because it's actually a common question too. Um, so I understand what you're asking. You get the sense that there must be one, right? That there's got to be a fiery letters in the sky. You are meant to do this, and I have been starting to wonder lately if that's something we tell ourselves, and there's like a human instinct reason for why we want to believe that. Um, I don't know. I want you to keep that in the back of your head though as we dive into this. Let me take it as a straight up like assuming that there is such a thing, and we'll dive right in. Um, I will tell you that for some people, the answer is you're not allowed to know. That was the way it was for me, that's for sure. Um, but and that is a very much a health thing. Sometimes you're you're only going to accomplish your goal by not knowing what it is. Uh, because it's like if I told you that you were definitely going to win $1 million in the lottery next week, you might never bother buying a ticket, that kind of thing. So uh, let's find out. I mean, let's dive in and see. Um, really amazing place to start. So before I continue, I should probably read your comment. I see you put another one up. All right, what'd you say here? Since I was a kid, my mother had said that to me too. Oh, said that to me too. I felt it, and something is guiding me, and I need to know more about it. Because man, I've had some experiences. I'll bet you have. You know what? No, dude, keep typing. It's totally fine. This is supposed to be a conversation, so anything you have to say it. It's fine. Um, yeah, I mean, I get the sense that I want to hear, by the way, I want to hear about your experiences just for my own sake, and that's not for the reading necessarily. I feel a strong sense of curiosity about that. But there's something I'm not putting my finger on. This is interesting to end with. It's a very strange place to end, or not strange, but all right. In trying to, I'm getting the story in, but I don't have words for it yet. I feel it very strongly. Like I have an emotional connection to what's happening, but putting this emotion into words is, uh, ooh, sorry, and it's really a little overwhelming. You know what I'm feeling right now? I'm feeling how much you care about this answer. I think that's why I'm feeling a little. Whew. And by the way, don't feel guilty about that. I want you to be passionate. This is a good thing. Um, so the first is the sense of you going off the beaten path that you could have had an easy route, and you decided you'd rather not. You'd rather go and do your own thing. But having said that, you're still feeling a little bit like a car stuck in the snow. This notion of, I know where I want to go, I've got all the tools, why aren't I moving? And you're doing all the right things. So what's the deal? You know, and you can rock it back and forth, try and get some momentum, but it feels like you're really stuck. So that's the sensation. I'm sorry, just out of the corner of my eye, I noticed you added something in chat, but I'm going to finish this thought before I look, okay? Sorry. So that's what's happening, but I do get the sense that you're um, going to start when things start, it'll feel like they're happening all at once. Um, and how to describe there's a the this whole notion. It's sort of like okay, sort of like if I had this cup and I was filling it with coffee, but I was standing here, a little almond, So you're standing here on the table looking up at this giant cup, and you're pouring coffee in and you're pouring coffee in, and you're like, come on, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. All this coffee's going in, nothing. I can't see anything. But eventually, the cup fills, and then coffee everywhere. And so that's the process that's going on right now, is that we're getting you to the point where it's steady, and when the flow starts, it will feel like finally now we're moving, but you were moving the whole time. It's just that now, we're in the stage where motion is possible. It's that, it's just the flavor that you can pick up on. So that's the process. You are very much on the path, and you're doing everything the way you're supposed to. You are so strongly guided, and um, very much I feel like if you were to look at yourself like a leaf on the wind right now, to see yourself as someone who's just trying to ride the wave and not really in charge of how long it takes or where it goes, that'll be a lot easier for you to handle than trying to take control of the process, or trying to hurry it along. There's definitely this. Sorry, I just got to move some stuff over here. There we go. Now I can sit properly. There's definitely this sense that if you just that you can't rush this, and any attempt to make it go faster will be just spinning wheels on in the snow. Like it won't help. It'll just make you feel frustrated. But at the same time, you're you're not powerful enough to slow it down either. You're just a leaf on the wind. It just is what it is. And if you can make peace with that, this whole thing is going to be a heck of a lot more pleasant for you as it goes on. You'll your ability to influence your own progress will come in after the cup fills, so to speak. At that point, you'll be able to guide how big of a pool gets created and how where that pool goes. You absolutely will. But at this stage, while we're filling the cup, it's just out of your hands. I remember that feeling. Uh, your experience is going to be, this is nice because usually when I talk to people, it's their own thing, and my experience doesn't actually relate. But in this particular case, that is exactly what I went through. And so it's distressing. It's distressing because something's happening. You're watching it happen, and that there's no results. So frustrating. I get it. I get it. But take this time to practice kindness to yourself. Be compassionate towards yourself. Be kind. Be your own best friend, and just say, "Hey, man, it's okay. You'll get there." When you're wondering what you need to hear in any given situation for the next couple of years, get into the practice of, well, if I was someone else, what would I say to me? You'll know immediately what the right answer is. You will have the answer right away. And that answer will generally be, it's all right, man. You're going to be okay. It's all working. You're not screwing it up. You're doing fine. Just hold on. Because that's the truth. Um, there's a little bit more about where this goes after that, but and I'll come back to it. But you typed a bunch of stuff, and I want to kind of catch up. So you wrote, "Dude, legit, I had my reading done 2 months ago, and I had about the exact thing." That's awesome. No lie, she told me that I have the potential, and I'm stuck. Once I move on, it's going to happen all at once. Cool. And it won't stop till it's done. Also, that I need a teacher of some sort as well. So cool that you got this as well. And she said that too. Sorry, I guess this has been over a period of time. Oh my God, I can't even rush it, even though I've been trying. That's funny. That's awesome that we're on the same page. And you never know, right? Because I've had a lot of readers that were kind of, you never know, right? It's mixed bag out there. But that's awesome that you're getting the same thing twice. And I do want to strongly encourage you to really investigate compassion. If you were to spend your time doing something right now that's going to help you later on and in the short term, get really good at compassion, especially towards yourself. There is someone. Okay, I'm going to write something down for you here. Um, there's someone who does something called self care. Her name is Kate Forrest. So, Kate Forrest. And you can just go to her website. I'm pretty sure it's kateforrest.com. I'm not 100% on that, but and she does something called self care uh, moments, self care moments. That's what it's called. She is awesome, and she would be one possible way of approaching this notion of learning to treat yourself well, to bring yourself a little kindness, to be good to yourself, because you could do a lot of damage to yourself by trying to bully yourself into progress. Stay away from motivational posters, man. Motivational posters are your enemy. You are gonna because you'll be like, "Come on, do it! Come on, get off your butt!" Chill, chill, man. You're gonna be okay. Just be kind to yourself, and the more kind to yourself you are, the more inclined you'll be to do the things that make this process work smoothly, comfortably, and at a really good pace because you love this stuff. You love this stuff. So when the time comes and you're able to move forward, you'll be like, you know what I really want to do right now? I really want to employ this skill that I'm developing. And you'll do it in a kind, peaceful, beautiful way. So that's just a possibility. I have a feeling I might be writing that down for someone else who watches this video down the road too. This whole public forum thing is a little new to me, so we'll piece that out. So I just seen you left all other comments, and then we're going to actually get into this. Uh, yep, said that too. Okay, and then it was I love myself now and everything, but right now I feel so empty or on autopilot. I can't seem to fight it off, and it's irritating. Yeah, yeah, I hear you, man. Um, it's one of the things that sticks out in my mind because it's been a while since I've gone through the Kate Forrest stuff. It was a while ago, but one of the things she spends a lot of time on is gratitude. And gratitude came up in the last time I did this. I did a test hour yesterday on this thing just to see. That's how I learned I needed to turn my mic down. But and gratitude is one of those things that the more you give it, the more you get. The more filled you feel. And I think if you can, that might be a key for you. But one of the things I'm getting about that emptiness feeling, before we move on, the key about that emptiness feeling is that figuring out a healthy way to address it is part of the process. It's really important that I don't give you the easy answer to that feeling. That there's no panacea, no like pill that you take that makes it better. Um, that's super important. You don't get that because the process of finding fulfillment in the moment in your life as it is right now, in the state of things right now, finding fulfillment in that is really important to your ability to help others down the road because you have a powerful mission to help other people. And that starts with going through the inner work of finding that. I want to move on to this, but I feel like it's safe for me to read your comments quickly before I do. Also, the things I've experienced would involve many otherworldly things, such as spirits and ghosts like happening, and that my sister and mom and I have all been through. We've all talked about my experience I had and also the dreams about it, which made it all real to me and made everything fit into place and helped me to believe because they described everything the same. All right, awesome. Um, I am really glad I paused before I broke in and I read that first because I really want to address this notion of fugazi. So this is Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is someone looking for something in particular and being shown on a cloud a lot of potential answers. The right answer is none of them. Um, I I talk a lot about clinging to ambiguity. I talk a lot about clinging to uncertainty and making that your religion. But putting my personal beliefs aside, I want you to take the visions that you've received so far and the experiences you've had so far as real. Take them as real, they happened. But take your interpretations of them as something that you will change your mind on annually for the short term and like every 3 years or so. Every 3 years is what really feels right to me. Um, your spin on it, your personal beliefs about it. And the thing is, right now you have a great degree of certainty about what you believe, and that's fine. Feel that way. Feel that way. And then when something else happens, feel free to ask yourself, well, wait a minute, does that change the way I feel about what happened? Um, and the point is not that you're wrong about what you experienced. You're probably right about what you experienced, but you're going to be given opportunities to see it from a new angle, from a new perspective, from a new way of thinking, and sometimes the new angle will be contradictory to what you believe right now. You're going to have to get good at understanding how two opposite things can both be true at the same time. That's something that until you've experienced it, I just can't describe. Um, but it'll be very clear when the time comes. So you're going to have that notion where everything you believe right now is true, and the opposite is also definitely true. Um, Man, for anyone else watching this, this will may never make sense to you. For Acer here, it probably doesn't make any sense to them right now. What I'm saying right now is probably a heck of a lot of gibberish. When it happens, you'll know. It's kind of on that level. This is one of those moments where, as a reader, I know that everything I'm saying is deeply unsatisfying. This motion, and I should, like, if I was a phony, make up something a lot more satisfying. Like, hey, you're going to be a famous psychic and you're going to be on TV. Isn't that great? No, not what I'm saying. but but um, but no, but the truth is, the path you're on has to do with this finding peace with contradiction, and that's the short term. And when I say short term, I mean within the next in a year from now. The short term development. Your whole plan is really long. Your development plan is really long. It's lifetime. You don't actually start eh, doing work in spiritual circles for quite some time. I would encourage you from a career perspective to do something unrelated to your spirituality for a little while. Something fun, something you enjoy. Okay, just really, really focus on what do I love doing? Okay, I'm going to do it. And be as immature as you want to be about that. Um, but doing work on a spiritual level is something that eats up your personal time slowly, a little bit more, until you get to a point where it's kind of like a part-time gig for you, and that takes a while to get there. But you will, but that does happen. It's just try not to rush it. And really, when it comes to career, just look for something that you enjoy doing, something fun, and not necessarily related to this. Uh, Two reasons for that, really. One is that that way you can approach your spirituality from a sincere perspective rather than a money making perspective. So you'll always be sincere about it and pure. And that whole temptation of uh, telling people stuff they want to hear, is gone. So there's that. But the other thing is that it will help you be a more well-rounded individual to uh, because if you dive in purely from like a I am all about my spiritual path, there is nothing else that matters to me, you start talking in a language nobody understands. You'll be making sense to you, but not to them. So having this other half of your life where you make money doing things completely unrelated that have everything to do with something you just find really fun, um, is going to, when it all comes together at the end of the process, or well, when it all comes together in the second half of the process, um, it just makes you that much more effective, and it all comes together. Um, so I kind of feel like that's the end. That there's not much more for us to say about that. I'm going to read what you said here just a second.